Hello everyone, Godzilla Guy here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make fake buildings for your action figures. I'm going to pick up the tripod for show an example. Ugh. Gonna see right in there. And there's some ones I made a while ago I haven't painted yet. But there's some right there. So let's try sucker back up. So this is going to be how to make them without the plastic mesh stuff you see a lot. Now you could add that on afterwards. But, you know, like I showed, you can make them without it, and they still look pretty well. So here's just the general stuff you're going to need to make ones like that. The general stuff you'll need is a foam cutter, of course foam, some paint, and, I mean, that's the bare minimum I'm going to be using as well, though. These two are just to mix up the paint, that's just to dry the paint. I'm also going to be using some super glue, have a silver chrome painting marker, an X-Acto knife. Also, of course, you're going to need a paintbrush to paint, but that's kind of a given. But yeah, that is all the stuff you're going to need to make some fake buildings. So, let's get into it. So, as you can see right here, I have some pre-cut, pre-made foam. These are a little bit thinner than I would like the ones you saw, but they're just going to have to do for this video. Maybe test my talent with thinner foam. So I just have this big plate of styrofoam. Honestly, just go find styrofoam from like a package you got. If you can't find any, go on Amazon. You can get some for super cheap. I'll be linking all sorts of stuff down below. My foam cutter comes with 2 extra nozzles, which we'll also be using this little one to round stuff out and add like little texture hole bump things. Also with this one, we're not using this one because this one is mostly used to like write. It's very thin at the very end. Also comes with this just so you can like set it down, not burn stuff. Like so. So let's get into it. So you have a foam cutter. You're gonna be using the wire first. Now, as a heads up, unlike a hot glue gun, the wire, since it's so thin, heats up extremely quickly and cools down extremely quickly. I will show you, for example. Let's grab a big piece. I'm going to set it here. Okay. Nothing. I'm going to turn it on. Instantly. And I'm going to turn it off. You can, yeah. So, that's just to show it off. It does heat up very quickly. It cools down very quickly. Turn it off. Kick this foam out of the way. So, what I recommend first, damage is all up to you. What I would recommend, though, is to add a couple, kind of like smooth this out. So, focus on this rather than the camera. Kind of strip away at the edges so it looks like it's been like rubbed against almost. Maybe cut a little bit from the bottom. Sometimes it will do this, so just make sure to cut it. Also, I have some fans going, so that's why they're kind of floating off. So now let's kind of add like some damage further inside the building. Like so. Now, a cool thing you can do to get an effect that looks like it was... This probably isn't the best for buildings, but just look kind of cool. You can go in and like twist your foam cutter around. Which, let's see how this looks. This will be a one we use or not. Can be a little difficult to get ones like that out because it does kind of wrap around. It looks pretty cool. Looks like a little bit's been chopped down there. So we'll once again kind of trim out a little bit right there. And so if it looks kind of odd, don't worry. We are going to kind of like smooth it out, almost like sandpaper, with the other little bits we have. But go ahead and make it how you want. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do that for these two off camera. And then we will work on rounding it out. Alright, so I spent around 10 minutes getting how I liked. I actually accidentally burnt myself, so that's a heads up. Don't do this alone, or if you're a child. I'm a child. I've done this a lot. I didn't expect to burn myself, but it's fine. So, now we're going to use this little tip right here. It gets covered pretty a lot. So if you're like, oh, what if it affects it? It won't. It will just melt through anything that's already stuck on it. Make sure it's off while you put it on. If I could get it on. Push it on all the way. So, we've got, these ones are just little miniature ones I made for fun. Just to test how good I can paint something really small. Also, for the really tiny Godzillas a lot of people own, just to make it, like, you know, why not? So this does take a little bit longer to heat up, but once you see all the stuff on it melt away, that is your, hey, super duper hot now. So yeah, gotta wait. It's getting hot. Usually the middle part heats up quicker, so all that's pretty much already heated. So pretty much with all these little lines we have from cutting, we're just gonna smooth out, kind of like how you would with sandpaper. And also with it, you can kind of like make little damaged things, which tip isn't really that hot yet, but you know, we got a little bit. So let's go ahead. So unlike the brain fart here, unlike the actual like big part, you know, they used to cut real quick, slowly, this is incredibly hot, so be extra careful. I'm not in frame at all. Be extra careful with this. Where was I in frame? Right here? Great, you just gotta see my gray hoodie for a while. But this is incredibly hot, incredibly quick, so you literally don't just like set it down or it's gonna melt right through. Just go quickly and it will get the job done. Quickly. If you want to make it look like it's kind of been beat up, you can just whack it a little bit and just kind of has like, add some rigidness to it. You can see. And so yeah, let's go ahead and round all their buildings out. And I'm going to cut off the camera because I don't think you guys want to watch me round this off for 20 minutes. So, I think next is on to painting. So take it away, future me. So, I have finished rounding out all the buildings, adding some little damage here and there. So, now it's on to painting. I do want to say one thing. Do not attempt to paint over top of something that's not already fully dried. I thought I could. I'm like, oh, I'll just add that on, try and blend it. Don't do that. It's going to look kind of weird. The reason I took the plate away and brought another cup up is because if it was just to paint these, I actually use a plate, but these are the ones for the videos, but I also have so many others. I'll bring them up. Buildings, I'm going to go ahead and paint gray. I'm going to need a lot of paint. Yeah, so the paints I would recommend that I have here, yeah, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 paints. I also want to say real quickly, the noise you keep hearing, that, to my new subscribers, hi, I'm Ryan. I have tick disorder. It's, I'll just look it up. Makes me make random noises. So, we're going to make this. So, what I recommend is, I'm getting off topic, some black, a light gray, a dark gray, and for this example, I'm going to have a little bit of brown, and so we're going to put that all in here. So what I use is mostly a lot of dark gray. So let's get that sucker out. Alright. Now this is kind of an uncommon video. If you're watching this, it's kind of uncommon for my channel. Check it out. I make a lot of reviews on mostly Godzilla stuff, but also other things here and there. For example, I have a Iron Sparrow, I believe is the name of the anime, figure review coming up. So, yeah. But if you're new, welcome. Hello. Consider subscribing. But yeah, let's get all this out. So I want to have mostly, like, we're going to do it part-wise, like 3-part dark gray, 1 part black, 1 part light gray, I don't know, and a little bit of brown. Yep. So I actually don't have a popsicle stick, but I'm just gonna mix all that up. So I have a cup of water over here and our paint, which I'm gonna go ahead and mix up. Try and get like not a huge paintbrush, but a decent sized one. Mix all this up, and we will work on fading and shading it later, and adding like reds, browns, and oranges to make it look like rust or fire. I have a big blob of paint. We're gonna go ahead and yeah, just lather that sucker up. A couple buildings really can change the look of a whole, not just your shelf with your action figures, but just like if you're making stop motion. I used to make it, I might try and get back into it. I was pretty good at it. I did it over on TikTok. TikTok actually did surprisingly well with stop motion. But you know, it was they're really good. They add a lot. For example, one of my buildings, with all these little holes you have, they can work good as like little points where like your figures or a kaiju can like be standing on. For example, one of my Anguirus figures, it looks like he's like standing on a broken building and his foot fits perfectly in it, and it acts like a little ledge. They work really nice for that. I would really recommend. See, you can buy pre-made buildings on Amazon, for example, but you know, I mean, they look really good. They do, but they are expensive, almost $20 a piece. Now it's like, well, all this together is way more than 20. It's like 50, 60. But you're getting so many more. Like if you're trying to buy 3, you know, if you're trying to buy 3 regular like pre-made buildings, it's gonna be 60. Or if you want to, same price here. But if you want to buy 10 pre-made buildings, that's gonna be what, 20 times 10. I can't do math while painting. That's gonna be much more than just a 60 would cost to do this, because you can easily make 10, more, probably 20 buildings. But yeah, so just go ahead and paint all your buildings your one color that you want. It doesn't have to be gray, you know. If you want like a really bright city, you know, do whatever. Do a light gray, maybe even a darkish grayish blue. That's all up to you. So I've been out of frame, I just realized, I think at least. And here we got so far. So go ahead and start painting away. Alright, thank you, past me. So we finished the 3 main buildings. Let's get a little bit closer. So pretty much, this took around 3 hours. It's like, oh, that's a long time for the things like this, but having to do multiple coats. In fact, some areas are still a little bit of white, which I'll have to fix up. But I got them all done with just the base coat. Well, not the base coat, you know what I mean. And also there's white in some hard to reach places. But yeah, this is how they all turned out. All pretty nice. Some of them are still dry, so I'm not gonna mess with all of them. So next, it is time to get colors that kind of look like just to differentiate and shade. So you're gonna want to do, at least what I do, is the parts that are further in, like those. We're gonna make them a little bit darker or a little bit lighter, depending on what you would rather prefer. I would usually say darker, given that it's further in, so shadows would be present. So what we're gonna use is all the colors we used earlier, except the light gray. We're gonna also throw in a little bit of green to kind of have some, like, I don't know. It just makes it look a little bit nicer. Of course, some brown, and of course some black. So what I recommend is, instead of using mostly light gray, is use mostly dark gray. Of course, just a little bit of black and starting to be pretty dark, just a teeny bit. A good amount of brown, maybe like 1/3 the amount of gray you use, and then like 1/4 of the amount of gray you use for the green. So that's what we're gonna use with all of those. So I'm gonna grab some new cups, another cup to mix, another cup to have water in. So yeah, go ahead and paint all of the little parts that are inner. Alright. So, this project took me around all day, but I finally finished the building. And hopefully you guys did too. So, I had some accents here or there. One thing I did is I glued like a little piece on that's like something like part of the building jetting out. So here's just an example of just like, you know, an area to set up. With a couple buildings, you can add a lot more like emotion into your stuff. Also, cotton balls are good for looking like smoke if you have like a crashed plane. For example, on my other buildings, this one has like some outline on the top. Kind of looks like you know, just stuff you put on the roof. This one, I'm not sure if I should show on camera, but I'm gonna go for it. See, it looks cool, but like YouTube won't think it looks cool. It's a cool effect. All right, remember this plane from 2019, Godzilla King of the Monsters? The stupid people on this plane, and how somehow it didn't crash when Ghidorah hit it with lightning. Well, here's what I think of it. It should have crashed into a building. Now that, like, looking back at it, it probably wasn't the best decision, but I mean, it looks cool if it was like that, like maybe Godzilla or anything like beamed it out of the sky. Yeah, we're not gonna show that again. But yeah, that is how you make fake buildings. Now soon I will be getting plastic like mesh stuff I see a lot of people use, and I'll review that. And this guy right here, I'm actually gonna review soon. So look out for that. I'll probably post that within a couple of days. So yeah, I do have a lot of projects going on though. For example, the next year of G Fest has already been confirmed, and your boy might appear in the costume contest. Not as a huge outfit, but just because I'm making the let me back my camera up on le tripod. Let's raise you up. Hope you don't have a fear of heights. Get the last leg. There we go. Viola. Piece of cake. We are working on the Jet Jaguar spear from Godzilla Ultima. What I plan to do is once I have all of it set out and how I like it, I'm going to put paper mache on top and a second layer paper mache, and then paint it how it is. But yeah, it's cool. So the fun fact about me, if you're a newcomer, and I actually don't think I've said this in any of my videos, I did karate for 5, 6, 7 years maybe, long time. I stopped doing it, but I've also just been a huge fan of just weapons in general like this, and so I'm pretty good with bow staffs, and this is kind of like a heavier bow staff, so I could probably do some cool tricks with this, but I'll save those for G-Fest. So, but yeah, that's how you make fake buildings, everyone. If you want me to make a video on that mesh stuff, let me know. I'll probably be adding it onto it, so I'll show you how to do that. But, yeah, everyone, have a great day. Thank you guys for watching. And, yeah, Godzilla Guy out.